Well, ladies and gentlemen, the day is upon us. I officially ended, or well, stopped watching the David Tennant run. I just finished The End of Time Part 2, and oh, David Tennant as a doctor is personally not my favorite. He's the second one, that's for sure. My favorite is obviously Peter Capaldi, 12th Doctor. That's the doctor I grew up with and started watching back in the day, a few years ago. But David Tennant is the best doctor. That's definitely the answer. I mean, if you were to pick one of the doctors, David Tennant is always going to be the best. Because I mean, I don't know why, but yeah, I really enjoyed David Tennant run, and so yeah, I guess let's talk about his specials. I guess so. There was this DVD collection with all his specials. I watched that because I have it, so it makes sense. Anyway, it started off with the Next Doctor. I really liked this episode. So there was this person who was actually the next Doctor, so to say, and yeah, he traveled with a companion. See the similarities? Almost there. He traveled with with a companion. He had a TARDIS. What? Insane. Yeah. He defeated Cyberman, which is, interesting. And yeah, he kind of looks like the next Doctor. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything. You just need to watch this episode. It's a very underrated one. So right, the next special was called Planet of the Dead. I think also this one was a very underrated episode because the Doctor was on a bus on London. You know those double-decker buses, which is, London is very famous for that. So one of those buses was dropped into a desert from an alternate planet, I guess. So that's interesting. There were a few people on there, which is also the actor from what's his name? Oh gosh, can't remember the name. The actor who works with the Jordan Peele a lot, that guy, who will play Spider-Punk, was also in this episode, which is epic. Didn't even know that. So that's nice. That's cool. So yeah, underrated episode, and yeah, it was about the Doctor trying to save people, like he always does, and that's really cool. But anyway, the next episode was called Water of Mars. The Water of Mars, yeah, something like that. Of the Mars, yeah, something like that. Anyway, so this was also very interesting because the Doctor also helped people, but he was actually in a moment that is like a fixed point in time, which is interesting because this is like a certain moment that he couldn't change because future generations will build upon that moment. Kind of like you have like the Titanic. The Doctor can never save the Titanic or can never, go to World War Two and, shoot someone in the face, probably who that is. Because those moments are fixed points in time. If you change that, the whole entire history would change. So the Doctor actually, Water of Mars, people on Mars, and there was sort of situation where actually something happened, and yeah, the Doctor tried to help, but he couldn't do a lot of things. But at the end of the day, he kind of saved people, and everything went all wrong. Everything went all right, but at the end, one person committed something which is interesting for the future generations. But anyway, it's kind of with a bit of time travel, and obviously the villains were like water creatures. I really like that part. I mean, why not? Like Mars has water, right? And I mean, interesting idea. All right, the next special was actually, oh yeah, is it? Yeah, okay. Well, it is already time to talk about the last run of David Tennant, and you could probably say that, which is the End of Time Part 1 and the End of Time Part 2. So in the End of Time, actually the Master returns in a sort of, funny, goofy way. He gets summoned by like magic, and the Master. I really love this Master. I mean, there have been and there are going to be a lot of masters in the future, and there were a few in the present and the past, which were great. But this one is epic, and I like such a 13th Doctor Master because he's like goofy but serious in a way. I like Missy because she is also serious, but the main Master from 2005 to 2010 is epic, and it's epic. So anyway, he returns, and so does Wilfred Moff, which is epic, and love that guy. So that's cool. So yeah, the End of Time Part 2 is when the Doctor eventually, regenerates, and that's sad. it's that sad because David Tennant is such a cool doctor, and it's sad he goes. But Doctor Who shouldn't be Doctor Who without Doctor Who, because regeneration is part of the story, and that's alright. Because now I'm going to start by watching Matt Smith's run from Doctor Who, which is like 2011 till 2015, something like that, 2014 probably, around those time. Wait, yeah, I don't know. Was he Doctor Who for 3 years? I can't remember. Anyway, now I'm going to watch Matt Smith and expect also some show reviews, Doctor Who reviews. I like Doctor Who, so why not? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you later. Remember, I don't want to go.
I don't want to go.